Welcome to Get Comfortable. I'm Maggie Smith from Green Cardigan Counseling, and today we are visiting with Camille of Aloe Inc., Inc. spelled I-N-K, where we're learning about her journey into the world of art, which includes her education and then her teaching and sharing with other folks, as well as her new venture into paramedical tattooing and fine line tattooing. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to Get Comfortable. I'm Maggie Smith from Green Cardigan Counseling, and today we're here with Camille from Aloe Inc. to talk about her work as a tattoo artist and really to cover a lot of ground about art in general and the impact it has had on her life. So to get started, Camille, I'll ask you to introduce yourself to the audience, sharing as much or as little as you feel comfortable with.
Okay. So my name's Camille. I'm the owner of Aloe Inc. I do paramedical and fine line tattoos, specialize in 3D areola tattoos specifically, but do all kinds of stuff. I'm a mom and, just kind of doing stuff.
Yeah, so just living life.
Yeah, just living life.
So if, this is kind of a silly question or a silly way to ask, when you fill out forms and what's your occupation? What do you put?
I typically put tattoo artist, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Or business owner.
Business owner.
Just depends, I guess, what I'm writing.
Yeah.
What I'm filling out.
I like that. I could use that. I'm never going to use the word entrepreneur.
Fair, yeah.
I don't know how to spell that or say it, obviously, so we'll skip that. So paramedical tattooing, you mentioned 3D areola tattoos. Can you go into more detail about what that encompasses?
Absolutely. So I specifically do 3D realism areola tattoos. They are typically for breast cancer survivors post-mastectomy. Obviously, there's all types of other surgeries or injuries, things where you would need reconstruction in that way. Yeah, I'm literally tattooing areolas for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any other, that's a lot. Does it include other types of tattooing or other areas of the body that you would tattoo other things?
Yeah, I do 3D belly buttons as well, which is a thing, again, with different surgeries or injuries where I'll either completely redo your belly button for you or even just go back in and add dimensions so it looks a little more three-dimensional. I do scar camouflage, stretch mark camouflage, all of that, yeah.
Wow. What is the training like for that type of tattooing?
So it's essentially just a tattoo artist. So there's not specific regulations or anything for it, at least not in Texas. So I did a lot of virtual training, and then I went and traveled and did in-person training as well, where I was able to train on cadaver skin, pig skin, work with models under supervision and that sort of thing before I branched out on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you tattooed on a live person?
I do, yeah. Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking.
Sure, yeah.
I had guidance, though, so I felt comfortable doing it. And I had already tattooed on human skin, cadaver skin on myself. So I felt comfortable by the time I was ready to actually go, work on models, yeah.
Cadaver skin.
It was pretty disgusting. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. That tracks, but it's also, I guess, the best way to know what it will really be like.
Yeah. I was before that practicing on silicone skin, pig skin, and there's definitely a difference. So
sure.
It was, a little gross, but it was a good learning experience for sure.
Yeah, I'd say. And I guess the final bridge between what the training you had and the work you were doing to what you're doing now as your business. Okay. And you mentioned traveling. So I'm curious if the training that you traveled for was one-on-one, or were you in a group setting?
Both. I did go as a group, small group. I think there were maybe 6 of us who had completed kind of the virtual part, learning about skin conditions, learning about needles, needle depth, all the kind of technical stuff. And then we kind of all went and learned more in person as well.
Okay.
And then I also do like clinical days where I was able to just kind of work one-on-one on models with a mentor. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
And so you said nerve-wracking earlier. Are you underselling that? Like just nerve-wracking? Like, I feel like I would be terrified.
No, I think that I was actually pretty confident in myself by the time I got to that point.
Yeah.
So I was very well prepared.
Okay.
I feel like, also I'm kind of in the mindset where you kind of just have to jump in and do things, even if you feel like you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
So I kind of just took that with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm sure I would imagine that made it easier, better, like that you didn't have the hesitation as much as like I would probably have.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we all do different things,
Sure,
right?
Yeah. I felt like it was a little more exciting than,
okay.
Scary, obviously, but
yeah. Also exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember much about your interaction with the first person that you did paramedical tattooing for?
Yeah, like I said, it was a more of a clinical setting. So I was working with the woman who I did all my training through, and she has like 20 plus years experience. Oh, wow. And so it felt more of a learning thing. Mm-hmm. The client also knew that I was in there sort of training as well. Mm-hmm. So it was just honestly pretty comfortable. I was able to kind of learn a lot, and they were really kind, and it was a good experience. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you do first, the fine line work or the paramedical tattooing?
Paramedical tattooing first.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. I went to art school.
Yeah.
And wasn't really doing anything with my degree. I was writing grant proposals for nonprofits. And then I became an art teacher for a while, which was great. And I was using my art knowledge and making money, which is, there's a reason they call them starving artists. It's a little hard
for sure.
to make money with your art, which I absolutely loved that. And then once that was coming to an end, I kind of just had to figure out what was going to be next. I'm a single mom, and, I had to think about, what the future looked like for me, what I could use all my weird art school knowledge, color theory and stuff, and apply it somewhere and still feel like I was being of service and making a difference in the world. And so I was just researching a lot of things and kind of came across medical tattooing and jumped in.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not something that you planned for a long time to do.
No. It kind of just fell into my world and kind of just embraced it.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing to think of this thing that you found. So you mentioned wanting to be of service, wanting to give back, and to marry that with your art background and your love of art. Like, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah, I feel very lucky for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So can you tell us more about like your, I don't know what you call it, studio, shop? What do you call it?
Yeah, studio, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
What can you tell us about your studio?
So I actually work inside of a medical spa. A good friend of mine happened to be opening a medical spa around the same time that I was getting into all of this and starting my own business. And so she's was very gracious to let me kind of rent a space from her.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not your typical tattoo studio, obviously. I have a lot of people who come and get their very first tattoo from me, and it's like this good mix where it doesn't feel like a doctor's office or a hospital, but it is also a little more I don't know, palatable to people, I guess. Like, they just don't feel as intimidated to come in. And that's kind of my goal, is to kind of make it a safe space for any and everybody. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been great.
Do you have like a favorite story that you could think of, like your favorite like person who came in to get their first tattoo, or your favorite interaction with somebody who needed paramedical tattooing? I don't know if I should say favorite or just one that like sticks out to you.
Yeah, I think that I'm lucky in that I get to hear a lot of people's stories and meet a lot of people in different chapters of their lives and on different journeys, and not even just with medical tattooing. I do like scar camouflage, which a lot of times, there's obviously a big like body positivity movement that's super important, but a lot of people don't always want to have reminders of past trauma.
Sure.
So it's not necessarily that they don't love their bodies, but they just kind of need some way to move forward.
Yeah.
And that's always nice that I can kind of help in a little way with that.
Sure.
And then also with like fine line tattooing, I get to do like a lot of memorial tattoos for people, or even just, I don't know, sister tattoos and best friend tattoos. And there's just a lot of human connection that I think goes on that I really love.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So when you talk about scar camouflage, it sounds like there's, I don't want to say all, but maybe significantly more like self-harm tattoos or self-harm scar camouflage.
I have been able to do a few people with self-harm scars, and it's great for me to be able to help them with that. Again, just kind of moving forward into your next chapter of your life is it's important for a lot of people, and so it's nice to be able to help them out a little with that.
Have you thought much about how that is sort of like being a therapist? Because it sort of sounds like that.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a common, not joke, but just kind of a common thing that people say, like bartending is kind of this weird form of therapy. You're hearing people's stories, tattooing, you hear even hairstylists. I mean, anytime you're kind of sitting with people, giving them a safe space to be able to just vent if they want to. I try to also let people know, especially when I know they're going to be in there with me for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. I try to let them know, like, hey, we can talk the whole time if you want, or if you're not comfortable with that, you can put your headphones in and, watch a movie or listen. I won't be offended, wherever you're at and whatever you're comfortable with, I'm here for it. So it's, it feels like therapy even for me.
Okay.
To be able to talk to people, connect with people, just I don't feel as much pressure, I'm sure, as you do as a therapist. I'm not trying to fix them, just hear them.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But yeah.
I would say that's a lot of therapy too, like just hearing people and like creating that safe space where they can show up as who they are and be seen and accepted the way that they are.
For sure. I know that's definitely been cathartic for me in my past struggles and trauma, and so absolutely.
I love you're talking about like hearing people's stories, because I think that that's something that sort of drew me into my line of work, and it persists that I'm so interested in like who people are and like how did they get here and why my office and why San Angelo and things like that. So
absolutely, yeah.
Stories are just pretty incredible.
Agreed. Yeah.
Have you had many people travel to see you for, I guess, specifically for paramedical tattooing, but anything, like to come from other towns or states? Yeah.
I don't know about states. Maybe people who are already visiting, family and friends, they'll come see me. For sure towns. And then I do a little bit of traveling for paramedical tattooing as well.
Okay.
So, it's kind of neat when they do that.
What is it like for you with the traveling? Because I don't know all about your line of work, so I don't know like how much equipment is involved, and how do you find a space to do those things when you travel?
I've become pretty good at traveling with all of my things. I also do like tiny tattoo pop-ups where I'll go to different events or businesses and tattoo. So, I kind of just pack and load everything up. There are also situations where I'm going into like a plastic surgeon's office where they have all of, the gloves and kind of all the easy stuff. And I'm literally just kind of showing up with inks and needles, and my machine. So it just sort of depends on where I'm going and what I'm doing. But I'd say I've gotten pretty good at packing up all my stuff and making it mobile. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess an important question I didn't ask is how long have you been doing this? Gosh, I guess it's going on maybe 3 years from like beginning to now, from studying and doing all the things. I started this business almost 2 years now. Yeah. Wow. What has the process of like growing the business, because like you're traveling, you're going to plastic surgeons offices, but you're also doing the fine line, like
It sounds busy.
It's been busy.
Yeah.
It's been busy and kind of hard. I'm learning how to market and how to market myself, and all of the intricacies of owning a business is a whole new world for me, for sure. So,
me too.
yeah. So it's kind of, intense, but worth it, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you're also in the boat of like wearing all the hats for your
sure.
business. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
It is.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
It's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah. In your fine line tattoo work, do you have any thoughts about in the future, like doing more than fine line, or you want to stick with that? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it just depends. It's a completely different skill set between traditional tattoos and fine line. So I would be willing to learn if I had some sort of mentor that I could kind of apprentice under. I feel like I would start all over with that type of training to learn how to do it.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to it. I obviously love tattoos. I have them all over me. Yeah, it's, a possibility. I don't, discount any options for the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a great attitude to have. In the realm of fine line tattoos, how big? Like, is there a limit? I don't know anything about tattooing.
For the size of tattoos that I do? Yeah, so at the very beginning, I very explicitly put it on my booking website, I will only do them up to, I think I said 2 or 3 inches, because I was learning and not comfortable going bigger. I had specifically learned how to do tiny tattoos. But as I've learned and tattooed, a lot of people, I've become better at it. And so now I kind of just do any size, really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of repeat customers?
I do, which is kind of neat.
I love that.
Yeah. And also repeat customers and people who will bring me their friends and family. That's kind of fun too.
Sure.
I guess it's validating that I'm doing good work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good feeling for sure.
That's how I measure in my work too. Are they coming back?
Yeah.
Okay, we got this.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm doing something right.
Right. That's great. We touched a little bit on your history as an artist. How did that begin, as far as you can remember? I know sometimes we're reaching way back, but
my interest in art? Yeah, I think I've kind of always done it, little and doodling and drawing. Through junior high and high school, I worked with a artist here in town. Her name was Catherine Pittman, and I just did private lessons. I'd go to her house, I don't know, every week for years and years. And she taught me how to watercolor specifically, but she really taught me how to, look at things and draw what I see instead of drawing what I assume it should look like.
Okay.
That artist eye is what they call it. And she was really, I think, instrumental in making me the artist that I am, I would say. My senior year, I needed just classes because I, didn't really need any more credits. So I got into advanced. That was my first ever school art class was my senior year. And I was able to kind of show them my portfolio. And I was like, I do art just because I haven't done it at school.
Right.
And so I took an art class in high school. And then I went to the Art Institute of Dallas right out of high school because I was told to go to college and art was the only thing I knew I could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Catherine Pittman had a huge influence on you, a major impact on you as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely. She did.
It's incredible to think of art lessons. For me, I don't know anything about tattooing, don't know much about art, but I think we're all familiar with sports practice or piano lessons, but you went and sat with an artist every week and just learned how developed your artist eye and how to. It just sounds really magical.
Yeah, absolutely. And even as an art teacher, I taught art as a skill. So the training I did with this specific school was amazing to be able to teach kids very basics, like these basic shapes, a line, a straight line, a curved line, a circle, a dot, like all of these really basic shapes. You can create anything with it, and kind of teaching them those same skills and I taught pre-K through 12th grade. So seeing them develop and grow as artists too, especially kids who were like, I don't know how to do art. And I was like, well, not yet.
Yeah.
And seeing all of this beautiful art that they created was just, it was awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that you would say not yet, because I think I'm guilty of that myself, but I can't imagine watching that growth happen, watching the development happen with the kiddos that you were teaching.
Yeah.
Do you remember, and it might be kind of in line with taking art lessons, but like, do you remember other people being like, especially blown away by what you were doing? Like,
as far as teaching kids, or just by myself,
by yourself.
my own art? I don't know specific times, but I am asked often to create art for different nonprofit. I'm kind of really entwined in the nonprofit world here in town, so I'll have people ask me to create a piece of art for them for different fundraisers or events and that sort of thing. So I think that kind of just is a nice feeling to know that people appreciate the art that I'm creating and putting out into the world.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us about the violin?
Yeah, I can tell you about the violin. So I was one of 5 artists that was asked by the symphony to create a piece of art from a violin. It was for their Polo on the Concho fundraiser, which was an amazing event. And they literally gave me this old, really pretty violin and said, go for it, do whatever you want.
Oh, wow.
So I chose to just paint on it. I tend to paint a lot of nude art.
Okay.
And so I did that.
Yeah.
It was inspired by Lady Godiva story.
Yeah.
So it was a woman riding on a horse, and then had pretty flowers on the front and stuff. But that was a fun experience. Definitely have never painted on an instrument before.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Yeah.
Was that a big adjustment to paint on a different surface like that?
Yes and no. I tend to gravitate towards watercolor just because that was the first thing I learned how to do. But then I'm also now like painting on people's skin.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
So I'm kind of flexible with the
right.
canvas.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned that 5 people were asked to create art out of these violins. Mm-hmm. So that feels like kind of a big achievement here, when there's not just like the population of San Angelo or Tom Green County, but like I think we have a pretty big artist community here.
It's a huge artist community, and so much talent. So it was absolutely an honor to be asked to be one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And you got to go to Polo on the Concho.
I did, yeah. It was great.
That is really hard to picture, but
it was so neat. It was they had really pretty big white tents out in that big field at Fort Concho. They had, I don't know if they're called riders or players, polo players. I don't know.
People on the horses?
Yeah, from all over the world. I met French people and just, people from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was a really neat event for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Have you done that often, which you mentioned kind of being intertwined with the nonprofit community? Well, I guess that's what you said, like that your art does get sort of recognized and brought into different events in town.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to, and still do, write, like I said, do fundraising and development for nonprofits. So I tend to end up at a lot of events and fundraisers and that sort of thing. Yeah.
So you're just meeting all the people all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Would you describe yourself as an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh, it's such a good question. Probably an extrovert.
Yeah?
I definitely fill my cup when I'm with my people specifically.
Yeah.
But also I tend to kind of stay quiet and observe when I'm in new spaces. So I don't know what that makes me.
I sort of look at it as a continuum, like so many things. So if there's like extreme introvert here and extreme extrovert here, that we're all somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Not very often is somebody all one or all the other.
Yeah. I mean, I have friends who immediately become best friends with everybody they meet. I don't know if I'm to that level.
Yeah.
But I will also talk to everybody and, find something in common with us when we talk. And I also end up being in situations where I'm speaking publicly and doing stuff like that. And I don't know if I feel like I'm probably doing that to myself. So I have to like it somewhere in there.
Right.
I don't know.
So back to your own journey with art and where it started and developed. Was your family encouraging of...
Yeah.
I mean, they took you to art lessons, but...
They did, yeah. Both of my parents they're not in the arts, but they're both very naturally talented in art. So, yeah, I think I've always been supported pretty well by family growing up, definitely.
And you mentioned the school you went to right out of high school. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, the Art Institute of Dallas, yeah.
What did your family think when that's what you picked?
I think they were just happy I was doing something.
Okay. That works, yeah.
Yeah. They may have had reservations that they didn't let me know at the time, but, that's okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's part of parenting, that, like, you want one thing for your child, but your child really wants this other thing, and you sort of have to...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
How was your time in Dallas?
It was great. It was definitely a lot of growth happened during that time. Met a lot of people I probably wouldn't have otherwise, and a lot of them are still very close friends of mine and doing amazing things out in the world. So, yeah it was great. It's a good time.
How long were you there?
Gosh, I guess 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
I don't know, 4 years, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
So, like in traditional college, you have to like major in something.
Yeah, I originally started with a Bachelor of Science in Graphic Design and then switched over to digital media production, actually, which I definitely am not doing anything with anymore. But I was doing kind of, sound design and video editing, and it was the best. It was so fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you get away from that?
I got pregnant when I was 21.
Okay. Yeah.
And
that changes a lot of things.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. The world that I was in kind of needed a lot more time from me.
Okay.
So I kind of I've shifted gears many times in my adult life.
So you're very adaptable.
Yeah, I think so.
Amazing.
Try to be.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're doing great.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned teaching. I'm assuming that's here in San Angelo.
Yeah. I used to teach at a little private school called Ambleside.
Okay.
And it was awesome. It was amazing.
How long were you there?
Gosh. I started in 2019, I think, through... Oh, man. That's a great 2023.
Okay. A few years.
I think so.
Okay.
2022. Gosh, I'm so bad at timelines. Few years.
Yeah.
I don't remember. All through COVID, it was horrible.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, it was great,
kids.
but, COVID was rough.
Yeah, for sure. Do you do any teaching right now?
Occasionally, yeah. During the summer, I actually will do private art lessons or small group art lessons with some of my former students.
Oh, wonderful.
And then just, different people who ask me. I typically don't pursue it, but if people ask me, I love teaching, so I will do it if I'm asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you love teaching, but you don't pursue it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of switched gears. I only have so much time to
for sure.
focus on things, and I'm kind of doing this stuff now, so
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I wonder if it sort of encourages you to continue loving teaching if you're not chasing it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe so, for sure.
Do you have a specific era of art that you prefer?
No, I actually don't think I do.
No?
I think I kind of love it all for different reasons.
That's amazing.
Or most of it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's great. I try not to be super judgmental about art. Like, I like to go to museums and just walk around and see, like, what is there to see. I don't have an eye for anything, but I'm just like, oh, I like to look at this one, or I don't like to look at that one. But still, like, the creativity and the time that gets put into art is always really mind-blowing to me. Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Even
absolutely.
something that seems really simple. It's like, yeah, but somebody had to, like, be inspired, or they had to come up with this plan and this idea and, like, make all of this happen.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't think that would be easy at all. Like, it just seems like so much.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also typically representative of a specific time in their life and what they're going through, and they're expressing things, you know, so it's kind of fun. I'm also really bad at the whole, like, what's your favorite food or song questions. I don't think I can ever commit to stuff like that.
Can you, like, narrow things down to, like, 2 or 3, or is it just like, no?
I feel like it's just full, like, what mood am I in? What, you know?
Yeah. Okay. You have a favorite color?
I wear a lot of black, but I don't know if that's a favorite color. Greens, blues, probably.
Green is my favorite, but purple, red.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's kind of fun to, like, not be able to narrow it down. Like, you're just open to whatever.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. We talked a little bit about when you had students who said that they didn't know how to make art, they weren't any good at it, things like that. So as an adult and, like, having other friends who are adults, do you run into that very often where people are like, oh, this looks really cool, but I don't know how to do that. I can't learn how to do that. And, like, just kind of avoiding trying the thing.
Yeah, definitely. All the time, I would say.
Yeah.
I used to, in my classroom, have a little picture of Picasso's cats. He does a lot of really weird cats in his paintings.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily look like cats. They're not a beautiful, realistic painting of a cat. And I would tell the kids to go look at it, tell me what it was. And it was kind of a really neat thing at Ambleside that they taught all of them art history. Oh. And so most, if not all of them, knew who Picasso was and could tell me, you know, he's a famous painter. Look at these cats. Like, art is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you know, people, I think we all kind of get into our heads that we can't do something, but we don't know unless we try.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, like, the initial part of, oh, that seems interesting and I want to try it, there's a lot of intimidation. I bought some acrylic paints a few months ago, and there's, like, people in my family who are very good at drawing and things like that, and it's not me. Like, it skipped me. That's fine. I got other stuff, but, like, it's like, what if I just buy this stuff and try it? And I haven't made anything that I want to show to people, but, like... Yeah,
but did you have fun doing it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's best.
It was fun to, like, pick out the stuff, and it was fun to just learn, what does this brush do, and how to... I don't know. It's just, like, the learning part of it has been a lot of fun for me, and, like...
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Maybe, the keeping it to myself has also been kind of fun, because then there's no pressure to, like, make something.
For sure.
I just get the stuff out and do something, and I'm like, and I just leave it sit there for, like, a week.
Yeah.
It's got to dry.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, I do that too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of art that people will never see, or art that I start and then the finished product that I give to somebody is, like, the third version of it that I've done. So, you know.
Okay. Something I learned a little bit about in the building where I have my office, there are some paintings. The building owner's wife paints, and there are some other local painter pieces in there. One of them looks like it started as something, and then a lot of it got covered up to make something different. Mm-hmm. I would have never thought that. I would just think, oh, you have to get, like, a new surface and start over. But
oh, yeah, I paint over things all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I guess you don't want to have to buy a canvas or whatever the surface is, like, to just do the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's kind of magical. I don't know if it's just because I don't know what's happening, but I don't know. It just seems like such a great hobby, and I think it's amazing that you've turned it into this career where you're giving back and serving other people in this really important and personal way.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. What kind of an impact has your work had on you, not just as a professional, but as a person, as a woman, as a functioning human being out here in the world? Like the work that you do, how has that impacted you?
It has given me a lot of confidence in myself, I would say. Like I said, I'm a single mom. I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time and have spent the last, 6 or so years trying to figure out my place in life as a mom, as a woman.
Yeah.
This has really given me a sense of purpose and identity in a way. Not that I didn't already have an identity, but a little confidence in who I am and the ability to kind of trust myself, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would say that's really important in your work.
Yeah.
So you mentioned motherhood. Is art something that is really important in your family culture, like your immediate family culture with you and your kiddos?
Yeah, I think that they're just exposed to a lot of art, just in our home. My kids don't do visual arts. They're both musicians, though.
Oh.
So there's just a lot of the arts in my home for sure. And I also have a lot of weird art in my house. I don't do the like Hobby Lobby, Kirkland's art. I buy art from people, and so there's a lot of weird art in my house that my kids, I think, probably just think is normal. It's just what a normal home looks like, you know. So yeah, they're kind of exposed to art in different ways for sure.
So, as musicians and not into visual art, do they like art, like beyond your home? Like, are they interested in museums and things like that?
I don't know.
That might be a tall order for children.
I'm not sure. They definitely go to a lot of art openings and things with me, but I don't know how much they're loving it or they're just kind of going just to go. But maybe eventually they will have an appreciation for it.
It's a good background to have as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
So what instruments do they play?
My youngest is a percussionist.
All right.
He just started middle school, so he's in percussion there, which is really fun. My oldest is in the central band, so he plays trumpet. He specifically plays French horn, mellophone to march, which is kind of like a trumpet. And he just joined jazz band. I mean, he just kind of plays all the instruments, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, very talented kids.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Your house sounds busy and rich.
It's very busy, for sure. Yeah.
And I don't mean rich like, I'm not talking about money, but just like a richness of creativity and hobbies and doing different things and not staring at a screen and not running out of the house all the time.
They stare at screens a lot too, but but we try to keep a good balance for sure.
Okay. Is there a piece of art that you haven't seen in person that you really like, you need to see it in person before it's too late? Before you die?
That's a great question. I would probably really like to see Basquiat in person. I've seen Frida Kahlo a couple of times, but I'm a little obsessed and would love to see her any and all the time.
Sure. Basquiat,
probably.
I love that. Excellent choice. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us and for being here and sharing with us all about your journey in art and paramedical tattooing and all these magical things.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time on Get Comfortable. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Please feel free to like the channel, subscribe to the channel. That's something that really helps us and will give us an opportunity to keep bringing more guests in to visit and share their lives with us.